The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily represent those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting group. Get involved with Access Fort Wayne and make your own television programming. Call 421-1250 to find out more.
Hey, Wesley!
Hey,
we have
Mr.
some special
Son.
guest today besides Jeff. We got the director of the, we got Curtis Smith, and he'll explain what he does here. Curtis, you're the director of the community outreach. Okay.
And Curtis, can you tell us more about what your job position is with Parkview?
Yeah, so my title is Director of Community Outreach. It's been almost 2 years since I started with Parkview and left Channel 21. What I do mainly in my role is I connect with the community, and that can look like 1,000 different things. We have some main groups, churches, schools, senior services, YMCAs, and then another bucket I call other, because there's so many things that don't fall neatly into one of those buckets, but just connecting with the community in all kinds of different ways, trying to promote healthy living and trying to make Fort Wayne a better place.
Now, since you came from 21 Alive, and obviously you've been in 21 Alive for a long time, you were the weatherman.
Yeah.
And not only you've been a weatherman, but you've won Whammies a couple times. Me and you've actually been on a level competition because I was, in the same boat as you, and you won. And again, not only have you, done weather, but he's also won Whammies as well. I'm not sure how many you've won. Doesn't like.
I don't know. It was several.
Several.
Yeah. The last several years I was on 21, I was winning the Whammy, and I was winning the Journal-Gazette Favorite TV Personality Award. So Fort Wayne has been very good to me, and I was always humbled to win all those awards, and it was great.
Yeah,
it was a great time.
It must be weird from transitioning from doing television, being on TV, telling everybody, hey, the weather's coming on, from being on phone and communicating. So how's that a big difference between then and now?
Wow. How long is the show? There are so many differences, and the differences are so enormous that I'm not even sure I could put them all into words. I mean, every way a job can be different. It is different. I have a completely different schedule. I work kind of normal hours now. I mainly work kind of 9 to 5 type of stuff, whereas on TV that was not the case. I was getting home at midnight if the weather cooperated, and then if the weather wasn't cooperating, I could be working all night, all morning, on a weekend, whenever. So my life is no longer at the mercy of the weather, which is nice.
I'm sure you got some heat for that sometimes when the weather is not right.
Yeah, especially, in Fort Wayne, weather can be pretty bad at times, and people don't like that. So, and every once in a while, when you're trying to predict the weather, when you're trying to predict the future, it's hard to always be right. So when you are wrong, people don't like that either. So, but most everybody was always very nice about it. Very fun-loving about it, but it's just night and day. My life now from where I was a couple years ago on TV, it's just a night and day change for me.
Now, as being in the entertainment business, like I said, I'll have you ask the questions about the stuff with Parkview and stuff like that. So with you, being on TV for so long, do you have the itch of wanting to go back from working for Parkview? Because TV is addicting.
It is. TV is. It's a lot of fun. It was a great career. In Fort Wayne, I was on TV for 21 years. So wow. 21 at 21. And then I was on TV before that. The first time I was ever on TV, actually, I was 15. I was in high school. And it was the only job I ever had. It was the only career I ever had. So these lights, these cameras, seeing the control room and being mic'd up, it feels very familiar to me. And it's fun, and it is addictive, but I feel like Parkview has presented me such an amazing opportunity It's such a wonderful place, not only for me personally, but for our entire community, doing so much incredible work throughout all of our communities that it helps me to not miss TV. Parkview's been so amazing that it's helped me make the transition.
That's good to hear, because I know it would be tough for me to try to leave the entertainment business and do to something different. But yeah, you got any more questions about health?
Can you tell us about how many Parkviews there are in our,
Yeah, well, there's a lot. Parkview is everywhere. If you live in Fort Wayne or any of our surrounding communities, you know that the Parkview has a large presence. So the way our health system is structured, Parkview Health is the parent company centered here in Fort Wayne. And then we have hospitals in, let me see if I can get them all, LaGrange, Noble, Warsaw, Wabash, Huntington, Whitley, and then 2 in Fort Wayne, Randalia, the original Parkview campus, and then what we call PRMC, Parkview Regional Medical Center, up at 69 in DuPont. So 8 hospitals. Then we have Parkview Behavioral Health Hospital, which is just down the road from Randalia. And then on top of that, we have PPG, Parkview Physicians Group. So we have doctors' offices and walk-in clinics, and PPG, I think they're up over 800 providers now.
That's a lot.
So yeah, Parkview as a whole employs over 11,000 people now. Largest employer in Northeast Indiana, a not-for-profit health system that this past year gave back just in terms of charity care, folks who weren't able to pay their bills and we were helping them out. Just in terms of charity care, $85 million we gave back to the community. So it's an amazing place, and it's far-reaching from LaGrange down south of Fort Wayne, from Warsaw and Wabash to east of Fort Wayne into Northwest Ohio with PPG. So it's quite a footprint. A lot of Parkviews.
Actually, I used to be a roofing patient, but all that trauma starting up, then and really starting with my mom's operation.
Yeah.
That's when we start. I was at first no, I don't want to go to Parkview. Then I changed my mind. Then I just was every day over.
And hopefully it's been a good experience.
Actually, everywhere I went so far, it's been pretty well.
Good. Yeah, Parkview it's just an outstanding operation, and what I have found is that not only is Parkview full of people who are very intelligent, know what they're doing, are highly skilled, it's really more about the heart. Parkview is full of people who actually care and care about patients, care about people in our community, care about the community at large, and so we like to do our very best for everyone that comes into the hospital, but we also like to do our very best for the entire community, whether they're a direct patient of ours or not. So that's what I really love about Parkview. It's all the skill, all the intelligence, but more than that, it's about a heart condition where everyone is on the same page, just loving people and trying to help people.
And something else I had to tell to you guys about is how you guys are connected this way-wise with the My Chart.
Yeah.
Where you can,
so we have My Chart, which allows you to, there it is. There's the Parkview My Chart.
Wesley's on that for sure.
Yeah, which allows you basically to do everything that you need to do right there online. You can do it on your phone, on your laptop, whatever. And that's something that I think we're going to be looking at more and more, ways to continue to use technology to come up with innovative ways to meet the patient where they are. I think back long ago in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, probably even later than that, it was all about the doctor, and the patient had to craft their life around seeing the doctor. We're trying to flip that, and technology can really help us make it more about the doctor, the nurse, the team meeting you where you are. What's the most convenient way to get you the care you need? And a lot of times it is through technology. So we've made tremendous strides with technology, and I think there will be even more coming over the next few years. And
I heard something else about Parkview On Demand. Do you know anything about that?
Yes.
On Demand service you guys start?
Yep, so Parkview On Demand is kind of progressing nicely. Again, I think it's going to be a tool that really grows over the next couple of years, but it's all about that same mindset of not you having to come to us physically to get the care you need. It's about us providing services and providing answers where you are, at your house, on your phone, your laptop, wherever you are at work, wherever you are, us reaching you and catering our services to the patient.
Is that covered by insurance here, or
What's that?
that on demand?
Yeah.
Like, do you got to pay for that out of your own pocket, or is that?
That changes from patient to patient depending on what your insurance situation is. So there's no uniform answer for everyone across all lines.
So, like I said, with you working 21 Alive and also doing stuff with community outreach, now what do you do with that? Like, let people know what a typical day would be like with you doing that.
One of the things I love about the job is there is no typical day.
Yeah.
My day literally changes every day. Here we are in the middle of my work day. And so one of my things today to do is to come be on your show. So I love the variety of my days because there is no, and that's one of the things I loved about weather. The weather changes all the time. One day it's snowing, the next day it's 70. That's Fort Wayne weather for you, right?
Right.
That's another thing I've loved about Parkview is that I get a lot of variety. I'm not just sitting in a cubicle or at my desk just doing the same thing day after day. It's different every day. So I connect with all kinds of different people and groups, and what we can do for them changes depending on who they are, what their needs are, what our resources are at the moment. And so I love that we can meet people, meet organizations where they are, and it doesn't always look the same. It's not a cookie cutter operation. We try to cater to those organizations.
That's good. Now, speaking of TV interviews, I told Wesley about this way before we talked about bringing you on.
Yeah.
I remember back in I think it was like 1995 or 1996 when you first came to Fort Wayne.
Yep.
And when News Channel 21 Alive and all those other stations were pretty much down at the Freeman Square, was your guys' area for stuff.
Right.
I remember interviewing you. I just wish I knew where that footage was.
I don't know. Part of me would love to see that, and part of me would be scared to see it. I had a lot more hair then. I know that.
Well, I was skinny back then, if you remember that correctly.
Yeah.
I might have been skinny back then. I had a couple of different phases. I've had a fat phase, a skinny phase. Now I'm in kind of the medium fat phase.
We grow in that growth when we get older.
Right.
It's like,
I'm in the I need to lose 10 or 15 pounds phase. Not 50, but 10 or 15 would be a good idea.
I just thought I want to share that to everybody because, like I said, sometimes when I get to hear that certain people are coming on the show, or I talked to you about earlier about Marty Wright.
Yeah.
It's like little reunion, like, oh my God, I remember back in the days, and it's like it's pretty cool to get to work with you again. Once he told me about that, I was like, hey, I used to work with that guy, a couple times with interviews and stuff. So.
Yep. I came to Fort Wayne in October of '95, so that could have been the tail end of '95, or maybe it was '96.
I think probably '96 because 3 Years Festival was in July, so it had to be
probably
'96.
Then, yeah. But yeah, I started at 21 in '95 and stayed there till 2016. So I like the symmetry of that. 21 years at 21 Alive.
So are you generally from Fort Wayne, or?
No, I'm actually from Memphis, Tennessee originally.
Oh, so it's a big culture shock then when you first moved here.
It was a big change. Yeah, I had grown up in Memphis. I was born there. My parents still live there, so I lived there through the end of high school. And Memphis is sweltering hot, a lot of heat, a lot of humidity, very, very little snow. Almost never snows there. So a big difference, yeah. But I went to college. I have a couple degrees. My first one was in Illinois, Southern Illinois University. So that helped me acclimate a little bit to more northern weather, more winter weather. And so it took a little adjusting to move to Fort Wayne, but I'll tell you what, not just the weather, every part of Fort Wayne, my wife and I absolutely fell in love with Fort Wayne. We got here, when we first moved here, we thought we'd be here a year or two and then try to move on. And we got here and instantly fell in love with the people, the community. I love having all 4 seasons. I love the weather. It's such a great place to live. It's such a great place to raise a family, and so we loved it right from the start. And pretty soon after moving here, we kind of looked at each other one day and said, this may be our home forever. I don't think we want to leave a place this great, and that's so far, knock on wood, so far that's the situation. We're not leaving.
Because one thing I've noticed too, like I said, I know you got a couple more questions too.
No problem.
I noticed one thing about, being in the entertainment business, and granted I'm in public access, but it's still, we're all linked somehow when we all know that certain person or certain people. But mainly the newscasters and weather people, they normally go to different, like they stay for, because I know you guys were contracted.
Right.
And I know that some of you guys decided to leave to go to different places.
Yeah.
So what made you fall in love with Fort Wayne? Because like I said, most people, because throughout the years of working 21 Alive,
oh yeah,
you've seen people come and go.
A lot of people come and go.
And what made Curtis Smith like, you know what, this is permanent? Because I know you gave a little bit of description of it, but
I don't know if I could point to one single thing other than the people. It was one of those situations where we found a good church, we got connected socially with some folks, and we just had great friends, and that just means a lot to us. It means more to us than the nuts and bolts of going to work every day and what the weather is. Even is if you can find great friends and have great relationships and build that love in your life, boy, that means a lot to me and my wife. And so that would be the number one thing, is we just got connected early on with people that were great people and that were loving and nice and friendly, and it just became very easy. Even a couple of months into it, just became very easy to see ourselves in Fort Wayne long term. And that's never really changed. Fort Wayne in that way has never disappointed us. We still have great friends and really just enjoy our lives.
Well, thank you for staying here in Fort Wayne. Because again, like I said, most people don't understand Fort Wayne is very important. And Fort Wayne, we get underrated with a lot of things.
Yes.
That's a different time, a different show. Because I know we're here to talk about Parkview and everything else. But I just wanted to let you know, because we know in entertainment how it is.
Yeah, I say this to my friends and to my wife all the time. I don't know why more people don't live here, because it's such a great place. We do have all 4 seasons. The people are wonderful. There's a lot going on, and yet it still at times kind of has that small town comfortable feel. You're a couple hours from Chicago, Detroit, Indianapolis, Cleveland, Cincinnati. If you need big city stuff, you can get to it really easily. I feel like we're kind of a hidden gem in the Midwest. I don't understand why more people aren't moving to Fort Wayne to live here, because I love it.
Can you tell us what is in the works for the facial at Parkview and Mania?
Yeah, so what's in the future for Parkview? Boy, a lot of stuff. In the near future, we've got a new cancer institute that we're going to open here in a few months up north at the 69 DuPont Parkview Regional Medical Center campus. We have a new hospital in Wabash that's going to open this summer. I think that's going to be spectacular. It's going to include OB services there in Wabash for the first time. That'll be great. People won't have to leave the county to give birth to their babies. So we have 2 big projects going on underway. I think one of the things that has plagued Parkview a little bit over the years is that a lot of stuff that we've done, a lot of buildings that we've built, end up not being big enough because we have so many patients trying to get into Parkview, and so access to Parkview care has become an issue. And so I would not be surprised to see some expansion of existing buildings and existing services, because we've got to find a way to answer one of our very biggest problems is how do we get more people in, because so many people want to get in. We get a little report on capacity every day in an email, and it's staggering how many people are in Parkview facilities, how many people are trying to get into Parkview facilities. So we're going to have to address that issue and figure out a way to make it bigger, make Parkview bigger and more welcoming, and keep it the same feel at the same time. But we have the right leadership. Our senior leadership is absolutely amazing, starting with Mike Packnett, our CEO, just a phenomenal leader, and then trickling down from him, all of our senior leaders, all of our middle managers, everyone that I've ever met in leadership at Parkview is just a spectacular leader. Just the kind of people who will go the extra mile for patients and people and put people first. And I love that about Parkview.
With me, I used to have an independent doctor. He was just like one of those, nobody ever should have takes back and forth.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I need to start working. I told the 1-800 number, they got me with a really nice dog. Dr. Swan down on Twib.
Okay. Yep.
They fit me in where to the east we get to him, my knee ain't done.
You know, a lot of doctors used to be independent, and that's going away more and more. It's harder for them to stay financially viable in today's insurance world and all the other financial pressures that are on doctors and nurses and providers. So more and more we will not see independent doctors. They will become a thing of the past, and more doctors already are becoming linked up with some system, and I expect that trend to probably continue.
It's all about the networking and working with each other.
Yeah, and the health system can provide so much to you in terms of resources and cutting down overhead costs, and those things are important.
That's very true.
Yep.
It does. With the first tier, what is first tier used for, basically?
So first care is used for, it can be used for anything, really anything that you have an issue with. It's kind of a big umbrella, so it's just about anything falls under it.
That's why my doctor is not in this week, so I was breaking out at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So I got in line. Like you guys said that where you sign in online.
Yeah.
I did that and got in and out
And
in
it worked,
about an hour.
It worked well, right?
It works pretty well.
Great. Well, that's good to hear. That's what we're shooting for.
You got to work together in order to make things working. Any more questions, or?
On that cancer center too, is
Yeah.
that going to replace the cancer building that we have out there?
Yep, it is going to be just south of the main hospital. So if you drive by Parkview on 69, you know right there on the east side is our whole campus. And the Cancer Institute will be right up against the interstate and just south of the main hospital building. It's mainly up at this point. At this point, most of the work being done is the interior work. And hopefully here in, I guess it's, about 3 months away, should be going through a grand opening and should be very exciting.
Is that going to replace where, right now, you know how you got door 1 and you go through the cancer ward to hold the pit? Is that whole part going to be rotated, or?
Yeah, so that will get reworked eventually once we get everyone transitioned over. And so now if you walk through door 1, you would go to the left, and then you would eventually be able to be out kind of towards the exit of the main hospital that would be over towards the cancer center. There's going to be a really nice walkway there that's already mainly up as well, and that's going to be great. Yeah,
it is.
It should be a fabulous facility.
And they tear to people really well at Parkview. That's what my expectations a straight tear.
Yeah.
And you guys fall right into it.
Well, good. That's good to hear because that's what we shoot for. Our slogan is excellent care, every patient, every day. We extend that out to the community and say excellent care, every person, every day. And we don't want to stop that with just folks who are patients. We want to extend that out to people in the community. But that's what we're striving for, that every patient leaves thinking, boy, I got excellent care here today, and feeling, man, these guys really care about me. They really love me. They really took time and helped me. And so that's what we're shooting for. So it's good to hear when it works out the way we want.
Was there any more big events going on with the community that you guys got coming up pretty soon, or?
Yeah, through February here, I see you've got a bunch of heart-shaped donuts and heart candies, and this is Heart Month.
Yeah.
So our Heart Institute has a lot of stuff going on. February 15th, they have their big all-day event, but throughout the whole month, they've got a lot of heart specialties. So heart, is really the focus in February, as your donuts signify. And
Wesley's just teasing us here.
I know, right? We're supposed to be talking about healthy living, Wesley. This is not promoting healthy living.
It's healthy looking, but healthy.
No, it doesn't even look healthy.
maybe we got different eyes.
It looks good.
Oh yeah,
it looks good. There's no doubt about that. But it doesn't look healthy.
I asked you guys some 20 for your Center for Healthy Living.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about?
Yeah, so the Center for Healthy Living does a number of different things. It's all about, on one hand, it's all about education, helping people to live healthier lives, and getting them to take their own well-being seriously. On the other hand, they provide some services, massage services, facials and full body massages and all of that.
I could use one of those.
I know, that sounds good too, right? Donut and a massage, that's a perfect day, right?
Nice weather, waterfalls, but that's in a different city.
But part of it is about stress and helping you to take time for yourself, decompress a little bit, deal with some of the stress in your life.
King of stress right here.
But that's one of the things I love about Parkview is that health isn't only physical health. It's not only dealing with heart disease and cancer and stroke and the flu and all kinds of stuff. It's dealing with mental health and spiritual health and dealing with stress and trying to reduce that in your life. So Parkview looks at all levels of health. We try to think of it as mind, body, and spirit. And so the Center for Healthy Living focuses really on all three of those areas. And is great. They have a new location. They just moved. They were on the PRMC campus. They're now at Woodland Plaza, just down the road.
I was just there.
Yeah, great.
I go see the dietitian over there.
Okay, super.
He's been dating me.
Now, Wesley, what do the dietitians say about all these donuts?
I'm going to leave on this part of the segment. I'll leave it up to you guys. I don't have a referee shirt right now.
I don't think the dietitian would approve of this.
I know. She probably wouldn't. But, what else? I just have it, then it went away.
It'll come back to you.
It will.
But yeah, I see. That's one thing I didn't know is that the whole massage and spiritual thing. I've never heard Parkview do that until now, and I might just go down there just to do that myself.
I've not done it myself, but I've heard from people who have done it and who like massages that they're tremendous.
The flu.
So great.
How are you guys handling with the flu stuff going on?
Yeah, the flu stuff has impacted us in a couple of ways. First of all, it's hurt our capacity issue, which was already a problem, but the hospitals are full now of people with the flu. It's been so bad over the last few weeks. The other thing we've had to do is restrict some visiting in the hospital. We haven't been able to allow everyone to go everywhere they normally can because we're trying to contain the flu. Big things that we're focused on all the time, but that we really heighten the focus on: washing your hands, making sure that if you're sick, you're staying home, not bringing that to work. You're covering up. If you're coughing, you're covering your mouth, then washing your hands. And so it's actually little things that become big issues. So we're trying very hard to play our part there. And limiting some of the visitation has helped over the last few weeks. But the flu has been a real problem this season.
Are you expecting that to start slowing down soon?
Yeah, it typically would start to slow down as we get into spring. So hopefully it will. It's kind of a funny thing because in winter, I think we think of more people staying inside and not being out and spreading those germs. But everybody's at work, everybody's at school, nobody's taking vacations really, and so a lot of people are together spreading those bugs, and it's been bad this year for sure.
Plus, you got to go to the store, you got to get the essentials for what you need in the house, and then sometimes it gets packed. So, like I said, you never know where it could come from.
Right. It's hard to truly be a hermit. You still got to get out some and get food and everything else. So
unless you're rich and have all kinds of money and they can all deliver to you, but still, no matter what Curtis was saying and what Wesley was saying, you can still get sick. Pizza guy or whatever delivered to you. But again, you have to be out there in public because if not, then how are you going to survive?
Right. Absolutely.
And how, this to be teens, how big is the Parkview North? PRMC?
It's very big. Let's see. So we have about 11,000 coworkers in the whole Parkview system. Largest employer in Northeast Indiana.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and the majority of them work at PRMC. So it's a big facility. We've got the one main hospital building, but then we've got the Cancer Institute. We have our corporate office there. We have the Miro Research Center. We have all kinds of offices on one of our side roads there. So it's a big facility. We've got orthopedics up there, the ortho hospital, and the O&E surgery center. And so there are a lot of buildings, a lot of people there all the time.
We also hear what his name is? Tom. Oh, the other one used to be on 21.
Tom.
Oh, Tommy Schegler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he part of you guys too?
He is. He was our sports director at 21 Alive for, I think he was there 12 or 13 years, and he was probably sports director for the last 5 or so. And now he is the director of Parkview Sports Medicine.
Oh, sweet. So they're still in the same field, but.
Yep. So he has stayed in the sports world, and the sports medicine department is under the Ortho Hospital brand and umbrella, and boy, Tommy is doing some tremendous work with.
They are wonderful.
Yeah, they've been really, really good, and he's really grown that department, and they're reaching athletes all over the area. So that's been great.
There's another staff member too. I don't know, Ryan Hastings. You remember Ryan Hastings?
Somebody's phone.
Predictable with TV.
Right.
Ryan Hastings. You remember him? He used to do stuff with 2111 just as well.
Yep, absolutely.
I've worked with him on a couple movies. He's actually a really good director. Now he's working at Parkview.
He's working at
Parkview with the
Parkview.
media too, isn't he?
Yep.
With Parkview.
Yeah, he shoots and edits and directs stuff, and really sharp guy.
Oh yeah, he's a really good guy.
Really good guy. So yeah, we've got a number of people who used to be at 21 who are now at Parkview. It's kind of funny.
Actually, I don't think you guys really dirt credit with the orthopedic people there. Is
Yeah.
way up there with how well they did with my mom and stuff.
That's great to hear.
Then they fist me up too, physical penalty wise.
Yeah, good.
Is there a day, are you guys first we don't come by O&E when you guys, or how is that happening?
What's
O&E?
About O&E?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't do a whole lot with O&E. They're in that ortho hospital umbrella. So I represent them at times, but that is more Parkview Sports Medicine, getting out in the community. Yep.
Well, is there anything else you want to?
I think that's it.
Well, thank you for coming on our
Thanks
show.
for
Yeah,
coming on.
absolutely. It was great to be with you guys. Good to see you again. I really had a fun time. I resisted the donuts. I'm proud of myself. But it was great to be here with you.
I do have one more
go ahead.
thing.
Oh, go ahead, Wesley.
Can you tell us about your award you won this last year with the whole network, the top 15?
Yeah, so Parkview, we actually won a bunch of awards. The one you're referring to, we were named a top 15 health system in the country.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah, really good. I can't remember the exact number, but I think it's over 500 health systems in America. There's a lot of them. And Parkview had a really big year in 2017, a lot of awards. Individual hospitals, PRMC and Huntington won some outstanding awards, and both were named top 100 hospitals. And so the health system was rewarded, the hospitals were rewarded, and as great as all that is, and we like that and we're proud of it, it really does get down, though, to that one-on-one with the patient, and that's what we're always focused on. And if it leads to awards, great, but it really is all about taking care of people.
People first.
Yep, people first, absolutely.
Well, I think they need to wrap it up.
Well, thank you for
Yeah.
letting me be part of the show, Wesley, interviewing Curtis once again.
Yeah.
Well, we hope we can have you back.
Wesley,
sometime.
thank you so much. Thanks. It was great to be here with you guys.
So stay tuned for some more stuff on Wesley
Stay
TV.
tuned for more.
From all of us at Parkview Health, have a healthy, happy holiday.
Jingle got bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime and jingle bells time. Dancing and prancing and jingle bells swing in the frosty air. What a bright time, it's a bright time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go riding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, kick the feet, jingle all around the farm. It's a jingle in the jingle bell beat. That's the jingle bell.
That's the Jingle Bell.